Thanks everyone for joining. I was thinking this would be kind of a open forum discussion. Been thinking a lot about how I've talked to a lot of people who were in the last recession, and they were saying that as buyers and sellers become more desperate, they become less loyal. And so we have, it becomes vitally important to really stay in touch with your people, and not just stay in touch with them, but provide helpful information that can, helpful, encouraging tools that they can use as a buyer, as a seller, to be able to afford a home, with rising interest rates and so on. So specifically, I want to talk about some things I'm doing right now to my sphere. So there's a loan called the 2-1 buy down loan. I've been really pushing this to my buyers, people who wanted to buy, but now they're like, screw that. I'm not going to pay, $4,000 a month for a, what would that be? Probably like a $550,000 home. That's probably about right. That's crazy, And so what the 2-1 buy down loan does is it's a little complicated. So bear with me and then interrupt me if you have questions about it. But how it works is, how it works for the buyer is the first 2 years of the loan, you're going to get 2% less for your rate. So let's say rates are 7%, which they are right now. Your rate for the first 2 years is going to be 5%. So that's saving you about $800 a month on a $500,000 loan. And on the third year, you're going to save 1%. So instead of 7%, it's going to be 6%. And on the fourth year and every year after, it's going to be the full 7%. Now, the catch is a big catch. The house always wins. They still need their money. So you just have to pay that difference. It ends up being on a $500,000 home, about $20,000 that you're saving in payments, year 1, 2, and 3, give or take. You have to pay that up front. So what I'm doing, and I'm actively writing offers for one client using this loan, is we are writing offers with the seller paying not only our closing costs, but our closing costs plus that, let's say $25,000. So we're asking the seller to pay $35,000 to $40,000 in closing costs. So, gosh, Christy's joining. So now I'm gonna have to start over. I'm just kidding.
Why don't you give me host responsibilities so I can let people in and you won't get distracted?
Oh, good idea. Great idea, Rachel.
Hi,
I'm
sorry.
full of them.
Join us, Christy.
Sorry.
You're totally fine. I am just going to start over on that just so that Christy can hear that. So, Christy, we were just talking about going to your clients with solutions in this market that has a lot. Everyone's like 7%. I can't afford that. Okay, so one solution I'm going to clients with, and I'm actively shopping with someone right now, is this 2-1 buy down. So all you missed is I was explaining that. So I'm just going to explain it again. So as a 2-1 buy down works is the first 2 years of the mortgage, you get 2% less on your interest rate. So if your interest rate is 7, the first 2 years, your interest rate would be 5. And then the third year, your interest rate is 6. And then the fourth year and all the other years are at the full 7. Okay. So that's really attractive to a buyer. That saves them, $800 a month, give or take, on the first 2 years, and then $400 a month on the third year. So that makes it much more palatable to a buyer. The catch is a big one. You have to pay that money up front. So what I'm doing with the client I'm actively shopping this with is we are going to the seller and we're saying, you're going to pay that for us, right? So they have a $500,000 home. It's been on the market for 3-4 weeks. I would only do this on a home that's been on the market, right? And the seller's getting desperate. They're thinking about a price drop. They're freaking out. And you say, hey, how about I give you the $500,000, but you pay $40,000 in closing costs? That sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. I'm not saying everyone's going to say yes, but the seller might take it. I haven't had one yet, but I've only written one offer for it. But the seller might take it. And instead of asking for a seller to pay your closing costs and drop the price by $20,000, which doesn't really help your payment that much, you're asking for a massive seller credit that then you use to get your payment down dramatically for the first 3 years. So the lender's obviously happy because they got paid. Buyer's happy because they have 3 years at a payment they're okay with. The seller's happy because they just sold the freaking home and they were freaking out. And I mean, that's really the catch. And so essentially you're saying to your buyer, you're banking on interest rates dropping the next 3 years, which of course I can't guarantee, but man, I'd bet on it. I'd bet hard that it's not, I don't even think it's going to be 36 months. I think it's going to be 18 to 30 months personally. I think right around the election time is when they're going to drop hard. And so all you need is in the next 3 years for interest rates to drop enough for you to refinance at that point. And the cool thing is, even if they don't drop, well, you're still in the same position that you were, right? You're just buying the home for 500 instead of maybe 480 that we would have bought, which doesn't affect your payment that much. So you're still going to just pay 7% then, which is what you would pay today anyways, right? So that's one idea, and I'd like to open it up. I've got a couple other ideas, but just like what are really the purpose of this meeting is like, what are some ways that you're going to your clients and saying like, and giving them solutions, right? Buyers are sitting on the sidelines and they're freaking out and they're like, well, I guess I'm just not going to buy a home. Like, does anybody else have any good ideas that they're bringing to their clients as ways that you can get around that?
Yeah, so I just actually met with like a potential like seller, and then they would move into like a buyer scenario too. And like they bought their home for like 5 years ago for 210, right? So they're looking to upgrade and stuff. And have you seen that seller concession sheet going around social media where it has like, you know, the loan type and it says conventional, FHA, VA, USDA. And then it says if it's a property type like investment, primary or secondary, then it has like what your down payment is and like the contribution to closing. So I was curious about that because it does have like a max seller contribution on there. And sometimes it's like anywhere from like 3 to 9%. So is that because like the 2-1 buy down is new to me too. So obviously like the lender that you're working with is going to know what the max seller contribution is. And then say if they do that, are they locked into something for, you know, like it has to go from like a 5 to a 6 to a 7%, or they can refinance before it goes back up, I guess.
They can totally refinance before it goes back up. And that's why this loan would make no sense unless the seller paid for it, right? Because it doesn't make, I mean, if the buyers, because all you're doing is you're just paying it up front. Right. It's not, it's the same thing. It's like, let's say over those 3 years, you're saving 25,000 on your payments. The bank isn't losing that 25,000. You're just paying it up front. But instead of you paying, you're having the seller pay it. Right. It's kind of the same as saying, hey, seller, here's my offer for 500,000. Can you give me a check for 25,000 at closing to help me pay for my mortgage for the first 3 years? It's really the same thing, except you can't legally get a check. So they're just paying your mortgage up front.
I totally get it.
Yep.
So that's what you really have to work with your lender super closely to be like, what is the max seller concession? And does this actually make sense? And can we write this kind of offer, right?
Well, yeah. And this is working great for VA and FHA because it's 6%.
Okay.
So that's huge. I mean, you can get up to 6% on VA and FHA, and conventional is normally 3.5%, but some lenders are increasing that to be more attractive for this exact reason, because there's also permanent buy downs. If you have a buyer who's like, yeah, but dude, I don't think interest rates are going to drop in 3 years, I would say I disagree. Let's talk about a permanent buy down. You can get a permanent buy down that's even less than the 2-1 buy down. It ends up being like you pay 2% of the loan amount. So say the loan amount is 500,000, you pay 10,000, and then you get it down by 3/4 of a point. So instead of 7%, you get 6.25, but that's forever until you refinance it or until you pay it off in 30 years. Or you can pay like 4 points, so that's 20 grand, and you get it down to 1.5. So there are loans like that too. I think the key is like not necessarily telling your buyer what to do, but telling your buyer there are options. You don't have to pay 7%. What's your risk tolerance? My risk tolerance personally, and this comes from a place of privilege where I can, like, I'm building a home, and when it's done, I'm not going to do any buy down because I'm like, I know interest rates are going to suck right now, but they are going to go down. So I'm personally, and this is how I'm talking to buyers, I'm personally going to take the gamble. I'm going to take a gamble that's actually going to be like 12 to 18 months, and then I'll refinance. So I'm going to suffer through the high payment for now. But if you want to gamble a little less, then do the 2-1 buy down. If you want to gamble like very little, then do the permanent buy down. Because then you're locking in at that 5.75, 5.5, which you were happy with a month ago. And then let me do my job. I'll get that covered. You're not going to pay that money. It's 20,000, it's 30,000. I'll get it. If I can't get it, then we won't buy the home, right? We'll make that just like a non-negotiable on our offers. We need this paid. And if you won't pay it, then we're just going to go to the next home. There's a lot more inventory. Like we can go to another home that will pay it. So yeah, I think it's key to be talking to lenders. Don't be loyal right now. I'm sorry, but like lenders aren't loyal to you. You don't have one lender who's giving you all their business. If anyone does, never mind then, but I don't know of any lender who gives all their business to one agent. That's crazy. They have lots of agents. And if they're calling you saying, hey, I want to be your lender, say like, I'll give you some deals. I hope you give me some deals, but also tell me what you can, like, how can I separate myself? What can I do to be different? What can I do to go to my buyers and say, hey, other people aren't telling you about this. Let me tell you about how you can actually get less than 7% today. And I'll get it for you. I will find a home that you like, and then I will find a seller that will pay those closing costs for you. So there's no risk to you. So I think that's really the key. And how I started off the conversation, Christy, was I said, I've been talking to agents, I've been asking agents who've been through the recessions, asking them, hey, can you get coffee with me, and just picking their brain. And what they've told me is buyers and sellers become much less loyal when things are rough. They're going to go with the lowest commission, or, the person who gives them like the most value. And so you have to be that. I keep saying this, but my real estate coach said this to me, and I thought it was an awesome idea. He said, you want to be such a good friend and agent to people, even before you're their agent, that if they end up going with another agent, you want them to be tossing and turning in bed. You want them to feel sick about it. Like, oh man, I'm so bummed to not be using Isaac. He's going to be so pissed, That's kind of a dramatic way of saying it. Obviously, I wouldn't say that to anyone other than other agents, but like, how can you give such fantastic service to people that they feel like obligated to go with you? And how you do that is just service the hell out of them. How are you doing is always first, and then say, hey, I just want to tell you, there's this new loan program that I just heard about, and I think it's really interesting. Let me tell you about it. And even if they don't use it, they're like, well, that was super cool that Chrissy called me, or Sean called me, or Kafira called me and told me that. So anyways, another thing I'm looking at, I have a buyer who's buying, looking for an investment property. He's like me. He's feels very strongly that like, this is not a long recession. This is on record. So watch Rachel take that bit and like post in 4 years, like as we're all like crawling out of the recession, like this is what Isaac said. But I don't think it's going to be a long recession. I think it's going to be 3 years on the max, and probably closer to 1.5 to 2, because I think interest rates are going to go down. Okay, sorry, I'm getting on tangents, guys, but I'm gonna take that a little bit. This is a self-inflicted recession. Like, there is no employment's high. Like, there's no, like, foreclosures are more than they were last year. Last year was the lowest amount of mortgages we've had since, I think it was the 80s. That's not a fair comparison. You know what I mean? That'd be like somebody batting 500 and they say, oh, his batting average went down in half. It's like, well, it still 250. It's like, the foreclosures this year are still on pace to be the second lowest in the history since the 80s. Like, foreclosures are super low. Unemployment is super low. The only reason we're having a crisis right now is interest rates. And who controls interest rates? The Fed. They could drop the interest rates to 4 tomorrow and it'd be booming again. Home prices would skyrocket. Everyone would be like, I'm back. It'd be over, right? So that's why I'm just like, if things start to get really bad, like the last recession, so many foreclosures, such high unemployment. If the government could have come in and stopped it by dropping interest rates, they would have. In fact, they tried and it didn't work because there were so many other factors. This isn't that way. They see that, like, yes, it's a down market, but everything's still fine. We're actually doing really well as far as our overall economy in comparison to the global economy. And so anyways, my point in saying that is like this, if it starts to get really bad, I don't think the government is going to let it get terribly worse. I think they're going to, if we start getting to 15, 20% dip from the top, I think they're going to change it around because they're going to be like, okay, we've done enough. Let's drop interest rates again. So that's my opinion on that. But the other thing I was, I've been telling some clients about, so I have an investor. Investor rates are terrible, like above 8%. It's crazy. And he's like, okay, I'm seeing some good deals. I'm seeing some desperate sellers, but dude, I can't make anything work at 8%. So I set him up on a search. We're looking for anything under, I think, 700,000 in Pierce County that owner financing is available. And I'm, knock on wood, I'm in the middle of negotiation right now. I might be getting him a 3% owner financing rate right now. 3%, because it's a seller who's a flipper, who's desperate. He's flipped it with cash. He owns the whole property and he's like, screw it, 10% down and a 3-year balloon, 3% interest rate. And I think I'm gonna get it. It's crazy. And I mean, it took a lot of work. I wrote probably 15 offers because what we were doing, we weren't even seeing the home. We were just seeing owner financing available. He would run his numbers on a spreadsheet. Like, okay, if I got 3%, these numbers would work. We were just offering it. I was writing a letter saying, hey, I know this is a crazy offer. Probably not interested, but here it is. If you're interested, let me know. And we're really freaking close on getting this one accepted. So anyways, again, I want to open it up. Anybody else who wants to add to this, go ahead. But I'm just trying to think of clever ways that you can go to your buyer. And if nothing else, they may not buy a home, but at least they're going to remember, oh, that was really nice of them to be thinking of me and giving me options, give me options. Because you don't want some other agent to call him and say, hey, what if I can get you a 5% rate? And then be like, well, Christy couldn't do that, so I'm going to go with them. Sorry, Christy. You want to be like, at least you gave them the options. And if they still don't buy, there's nothing you can do about that. So yeah, any other clever ideas that's working for anybody else? That's fine, I'll keep talking. So, okay, another idea I have, listings. If you have a seller who is reasonable, they understand that the market's doing crazy things. What if you talk to a lender and say, show me a 2-1 buy down for this home. Give me an FHA, a VA, and a conventional. And then you market this. You put this in the supplements, you put it in the marketing remarks. I don't know if you can do that actually in the marketing remarks, but you can do it in the broker remarks. Because you can't market yourself in the marketing remarks, if that makes sense. I don't know. So, but put in the broker remarks, put it as a flyer on your island in the listing that you say, buy my $500,000 listing, seller will pay up to $40,000 in closing costs that will get your rate down to 5%. Big asterisk saying, depending on the buyer, right? You have to qualify certain minimum credit score and things like that. But what if you started marketing your homes that way? And then that's freaking great social media marketing too. You post your listing. Here's our listing, 500,000, and I can get it for you at a 5.5% interest rate. Like, find a lender and talk to that lender about it. Say, hey, make me a plan. Like, make me a flyer that I can start sharing to my people. Like, hey, you like this listing of mine? What if I can get it for you at 5.5%? And your seller's happy because you told them, hey, let's expect we're going to net 450. Let's just expect that. Okay. So you list maybe a little higher than you would have, so that they're happy with that. Because I'm going into listing appointments and I'm telling sellers, like, even if we price it right, everyone's going to write lower. I mean, I have a listing in Port Orchard that I just got an offer. We listed 3 days ago, Friday, so 4 days ago. And we just got an offer today. In the first weekend, I was like, oh yeah, 25,000 low. And it's like, why'd they do that? Because they can. And my seller's like, what? It's the first weekend. I'm like, yeah, but it's an offer. You know, it's like, sellers are so desperate. So, who all is on here?
I love your ideas, man. Like that idea of marketing, showing what you could sell it, you know, what the seller could do. You know, here's conventional VA, FHA with this buy down lower rate. I love that.
Find a lender who will do a video with you too. Like go get a lender, get a whiteboard and do a video. You're both standing up, cameras pointing at you and say, interest rates are high. They're at 7%, but you can still get a 5.5% interest rate. Let me show you how to do it and do a quick crash course. You don't need to have all the answers in there. In fact, you don't want all the answers. You want just enough to then be like, wait, what was that? And now they're going to call you. Like, okay, wait, what'd you say? I didn't really understand that. Perfect. That's what you want. If you give them all the answers, then they'll just go to their own lender or their own agent. So just a couple ideas. Andrew, is that Andrew Moran or is that Andrew West on the video, on the Zoom? No idea. I invited a lender I've known for a while because he was the one who told me about the 2-1 buy down. I wanted to see if he had anything to elaborate, but I don't know, maybe he's not here. Yeah, so I didn't really have too much to talk about today. I just wanted to kind of share some ideas like that and then encourage everybody to go talk to lenders because they want your business. They are struggling. They've got no refis right now and say, help me help you. Like, what's some interesting loan product that you have that I can take to my buyers? I just got 5 missed calls from 5 different numbers. This always happens. Okay, anything anybody else want to add? Kim, you got anything helpful to add?
Not to add, you've covered a lot of great ideas. I'm lacking.
All good. Yeah, well, I'm going to try and keep these meetings like this where we're just talking about good ideas. You know, I feel like we just have to separate ourselves. I'm already seeing it, guys, where, I mean, people who've been in the business a while are already starting to drop out. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm just saying this to say, like, this is crunch time. And like, I have a notepad on my phone that whenever I think of an idea for a video, I write it down and like, just really try and up your game as far as like, what is the minimum amount of activities that you're going to do each week, no matter what. I'm going to, touch 50 people in my database every single week. That's 10 a day if you work 5 days a week. And then freaking stick to it. Write it on a board in your house, circle it, and then write -5, -10, -15, and keep track of it. And when Sunday rolls around, if you still have 12 calls to make those 12 calls. And, I'm going to do one video, make it one video a week. And don't worry about having it be perfect. Just do a quick video, share it on. Oh, actually, this is helpful. Totally sidetrack. Christy taught me this. Did you know that if you post a video on, say, TikTok, and then you share it on Facebook and Instagram and everything, that Facebook and Instagram, they're going to belittle your post purposely because they don't want you going to TikTok? So when you post a video, you should be posting it on Facebook and Instagram, and TikTok and YouTube, and all those separately, so you get max visibility. So that's
okay. I since I do all this stuff, you're talking about not sharing the link, correct?
Not just sharing the link. Yeah. Like
sharing the link from anything to anything will get pushed down. You want to download and share organically, which means you go through the effort and share it. Even when you have to watch out if you're using like Hootsuite, which is a fantastic multimedia mass sharing tool, but it's proven Facebook doesn't like it. Even though you're posting it to Facebook through Hootsuite, Facebook doesn't like it. So yeah, sharing links is not helpful. And don't forget, when you're in your own page now and you share a link and the next person shares it, you're now completely removed out of that. It doesn't like say Kim McCartney at Realty One Group Turnkey shared this. It just shares the article. So that they removed Facebook. It used to be Facebook kept you attached to your article or whatever cool thing you found, but it removes that now. Been doing that for a while. So just keep that in mind.
I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So when you find cool articles and you post it on your business page, and then the next person comes along and go, "That's really cool what Isaac said. I'm going to share that with my whole Facebook feed," and they share it. It doesn't share you anymore. You're removed from that. So the way to solve that, if you really want to share something, is to go through the effort to post it like with an image and some text and a link to it, which then they'll share your post with the link. Does that make sense?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So just little tips to keep your name out there. And not have Facebook remove it because they don't like giving credit to anybody else.
Okay, so I'm going to end this with a challenge for everybody. By next Tuesday, next meeting, everyone can say if they were successful or not successful. Everyone who wants to participate, find a lender. If you want a lender who does a 2-1 buy down, Andrew Moran, I've used him on a few loans and he's been fantastic. And he's one who told me about 2-1 buy down, but there's other lenders who do it. So find a lender, ask if they do a 2-1 buy down or something similar, and do a video with them and post it by next Tuesday. And we'll have a prize for everyone who does it. Kim, can we follow through on that?
Well, this is your Tech Tuesday. So how long do you want to give them?
Next Tuesday, by next Tech Tuesday.
Well, you can, I don't know what we've got. I'm looking at Rachel. Rachel, what do we have scheduled for next Tech Tuesday?
Oh, no, we don't have to do, it doesn't have to be the topic of next Tuesday. I'm just saying, if you come to the next Tech Tuesday and you show that you did that video, you post it on social media, the medias, I will send you a $10 gift card to Starbucks.
No, I'm asking, what do we have a topic for next Tuesday? I'm getting, we don't know yet. So we can, Isaac, could you help us with next Tech Tuesday? Do you want to give your lender, you want to have a lender come talk about 2-1 buy downs on Tech Tuesday, and then you can award your, I'm throwing you under the bus, man.
Yeah, no, that's great. I got it. I'll be at next
You want to do next Tech Tuesday?
I will have the video and I will
you can
buy
follow
myself
up.
a copy.
Yeah, you'll get a $10 gift card, Isaac.
I'm going to buy it
I
myself.
want to know how I can get a $10 gift card.
You can share everyone's videos on the Realty One Group page.
Got it. On it.
Done. Okay,
If
but
if none of us actually make it, does she get a $10 gift card?
Now, are you, Isaac, are you only doing this for we've got one, how many?
no,
people-
I'm going to say anybody watching this video, if you got to the end of the video, then you're a champ, because I kind of rambled. If you got to the end of this recording and you show up to next Tech Tuesday, just like virtually, obviously, and you show the video, we're going to watch everyone's videos. And then, yeah. And it doesn't
All
have
right,
to,
I'm looking at here. We got Kafira, Christy, and Sean can make Isaac pay out $30
Hey, and me.
and 40. Okay, can't deny Rachel her Starbucksy.
no, I'm saying everyone in the office. If everyone,
Oh, you want to do this to everybody?
I will pay, what do we have? 70 agents. I'm going to pay $700 out of my own account. It's not going to happen. It's not, but
Probably not 70. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll include it in the recap email, you guys.
Okay, right. I'm saying, Rachel, get with Isaac, get a clear wording of this thing, and let's make Isaac pay out some Starbucks.
Okay, but hold up. Don't put it in the email. Say, if you watch to the end of the video, there's
Go
a
watch the
challenge.
video.
Yeah, you have to watch. Yeah, don't give it unless they watch it.
Okay, I'm catching what you're saying. So if they watch the video, they can watch for the contest to participate to win a Starbucks gift card.
And they have to show up to next Tech Tuesday to show it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm adding my own thing to this. If you post a video, try and let me know so I can share it. I will try and keep in touch, but if you post one, let me know if you remember it, and I will share it immediately because I want my Starbucks too.
I'll get with Rachel and we'll get this worded and we'll see how many people we can get participating. What you think, Christy? You like that?
Yeah, I do. I'm doing it. I'm getting a $10 gift card.
I got one more thing to offer. So I tried to figure out video editing and I was just like, this is stupid. I don't like doing this. So I bought my brother a laptop. That's it. I gave him a loan for a laptop and he's going to pay me back because he really wanted a new Mac. And I said, in return, until you pay it off, he's going to do free video editing for me. But I said, but I probably have other people who might want to do this. And he's editing videos and making them look super dope. I can send you some of the ones he's done for me for 25 bucks. So if you have like a video of like a listing and you just want him to put it together with music and like words on the screen, like for me, it's like that would take me 2 hours to do. And, you know, if you're worth 50 bucks an hour, which you all are at a minimum, and it would take you an hour or more, it's a deal. But that was not a plug to hire my brother. I'm just saying he's doing it anyways. So if you want, let me know.
I do. I want to see, did he do your last video that you uploaded to TikTok?
No, he didn't do that one. No, he did one for I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool, guys. This was a good meeting.
Yeah, great meeting.
Agreed.
Snap, snap, snap.
Let's make Isaac pay up, guys.
Yeah.
Let's do
Yeah.
it.
I bet I don't pay more than $100. Prove me wrong.
What if I make 5 different videos with 5 different monkeys?
Don't be greedy, Con. Don't be greedy.
Oh.
All right, everybody.
Wait, yeah, do I get $10 per video I share?
No.
You're also being greedy. All right, guys. Have
All right.
a great week.
Isaac, did you want me to hang around?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I think I just heard someone come in, though. So, okay, bye, everybody. I'll be right back.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.